Hello, hello. Hopefully, you guys can see and hear me. I'm having all kinds of issues this morning. Hopefully, you can. Feel like my computer's getting ready to crash. But either way, if you can, welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos, and we are broadcasting to the world live from Phoenix, Arizona. Today, we bring you a tragic case, a girl that went missing, reported as a runaway out of Mesa, Arizona, was recently found dead and dismembered near Globe, Arizona. It's about 100 miles away. Let me share my screen with you. Computer's just acting so strange. So here we have Emily. She's 14 years old. I believe she would be 15 this May. And we're going to dive into her story. And I'm going to get the opinion of the sleuth crew, see if we can put our heads together and try to figure out what happened. Welcome in, Miss Dog Lover, She Warrior. Thank you. Ziggy, good to see you guys. How many of you have not heard of this case? If you have not, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat right now. I don't know what the hell is going on with my computer. I have about 30 gigabytes free of a terabyte, so I'm not sure what the hell is going on. Okay, Emily, she went missing. She's originally from the San Carlos Apache Reservation. Apparently, according to one of her roommates that stays with her at a group home, she went missing out of a group home. I can't find the group home. It's not listed on Google or it is hard to find. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's mentioned it. They are literally hiding from the media and from the public on this. So I find that very suspicious. But either way, it's on Mesa Drive in McKillop, somewhere in that area. And that's the last place that she was seen. According to one of her roommates, she was trying to get to a boy that she met while taking guitar lessons. I couldn't find anything else to support that. I reached out to a few family members, no response. Nobody was willing to talk with me about it. But I'm sure they were busy traveling back and forth from San Carlos to Mesa. They just had a huge vigil for her. So she went missing January 27th. Not sure the time of date. We're going to go through some information, and a lot of those questions will be answered there. Her body was found February 14th by, I believe, by some folks who were just kind of hiking in that area. And you'll get a better idea of what this area looks like here in a minute when I pull it up on the maps. Good to see you, Cindy. Ziggy. And the information about her being dismembered was not supposed to be released to the public. So think about all these stories that we don't hear anything about. It's just missing children. They never planned to tell the public that she was dismembered. And the FBI didn't even get involved until it started to become somewhat of a high profile case, at least here in Arizona. They've only been involved since, I believe, yesterday morning. What's up, Cyber? Jill Moser, good to see you. So it looks like a lot of you have not heard of this case. Absolutely, CJK. And if you have any information, the number to call is down at the bottom. If you have any tips, any piece of information is helpful. Wow, this just happened, Miss Dog Lover. She went missing January of this year, or yeah, January, and then was found February 14th of this year. What's up, Misunderstood? You can kind of see where I got the photograph. Her name is Emily Pike. So I grew up in Mesa. I know this area quite well. And I find it very strange that there is no group home listed here. Apparently, it's right here on McKellips and Mesa Drive. I mean, I can't find it. I cannot find it. So they're keeping that information quite hush. Yeah, it's extremely sad. It's extremely sad, first, that she's, had to be in a group home. So she's already at risk. She's an at-risk child. We know predators target children just like her. Because for one, when you're in that situation, you have low self-esteem and you don't really have anybody to protect you. Hey, what's up, Don? Says they weren't going to tell the public that she was dismembered. Yes, they never planned for that information to be released to the public. So what were they going to do with that information? They were just going to sweep it under the rug. What's going on, J-Ray? It is horrendous. It's terrifying. Now it's up to us to try to make some sense of this, guys. I want you to be digging into this case, or at least scratching your brain. Okay, now let's take a look at where she's from and where her body was found. Okay, so her body was found up here near Jackson Butte. Somewhere back here on these trails. Now, this is a Forest Service road back here. And it kind of slipped today. The sheriff let it slip that hikers found her, that they were hiking some trails back here. So I'm thinking that might even be more so around this area. Hey, thanks, Don. I appreciate that. It's very generous of you, my friend. Okay, let's take a look here. So the first thing that I noticed, it's not far from where she's from at all. But instead of taking her home, they dumped her in the opposite direction. But I have a feeling that it's possible that they did bring her home. And then they dumped her. So I think the police should definitely be looking for people who travel between her Apache Indian reservation and the valley. Now, this is the Phoenix Metropolitan Valley. It's one of the biggest cities in the world. Can't find any information on the group home, but apparently it's right here. Her roommate said that she met a boy while she was taking guitar lessons. Okay, who's the boy? Where was she taking guitar lessons? But I have a feeling that she knew her killer. She's not hitchhiking. She made an arrangement with her killer to be taken either to Peridot or to San Carlos. This is all part of the San Carlos Apache Reservation. Now, I think it's possible that she made it home. Whoever took her didn't bring her home, but brought her home, but didn't bring her home to her family. Brought her out here and murdered her. I think she knows her killer. And if anybody from San Carlos or Peridot knows anybody that travels from the Phoenix area to the Indian reservation, I would tip those people in immediately. Anybody that may have been traveling around January 27th, because I believe her body has been there for some time, according to law enforcement. She was there for a while. She's lucky to have been found that quick, in my opinion. So she's here and her body ends up there, not far from where her family is at this point in time. Her entire family is out here in San Carlos and Peridot. I don't think she's hitchhiking. She knows somebody that's traveling from Phoenix to the reservation. Can I go with you? Pick me up. I'm going to run away from my group home and I'm going to go with you. Whoever took her knows who killed her. And that's just my opinion. CJK says, I've seen many call for a new type of alert for teens that go missing and not seen being abducted. I agree. And it should include runaways. Yeah, absolutely. Because runaways are usually motivated. They have a place to go. They're going somewhere. They're with someone. And a lot of times that includes a male who does not have good intentions. So I don't think there's a such thing as a runaway. They're not running away. They're with somebody. What are they going to do? Run away and they're just walking the streets alone? That's not typically how it happens. I think whoever had her became sexual with her, assaulted her, knowing that she was alone and that nobody knew that she was coming. Emily probably told them, I want to surprise everyone. Nobody knows that I'm coming, or else they may have called the cops. But I want to go home. Can you take me home? CJK says, Sleuth, I just read some info I'd not seen before. Sharing, according to Mesa Police Department, this group home alone reported 30 children as missing over the past 3 years. Yep, that's absolutely correct. The 30 It's not reported 30 children, it's 30 reports. A lot of the reports are the same kids, repeat offenders. And apparently, Emily may have been one of those repeat offenders. From what I've read, she has ran away from the facility before, or a facility, or from home. Miranda says, "Does anybody know if she was living in a group home?" Yes, she was living in a group home, foster care, and I can't find it. I cannot find the name of this facility. They're keeping it under wraps, and I'm not exactly sure why. But yes, she was living in a group home. The mother stated there were 3 suspects. I did read that. There hasn't been any follow up. I'm hoping that the FBI is getting involved because of the cyber angle. For all I know, she was lured by somebody that she knew or met, and they told her, "I'll take you home." They have not located her arms. Her arms are missing. Now, either that's because they haven't found them yet, the killer dumped them in a separate location, or he still has them. He or she may still possess Emily's arms. They could be in a freezer. Don't ask me why, but some killers they just can't part with their victim. They want them to be near them. But I think in this case it's most likely they have not located them yet. Yeah, that may be true, CJK. That may be true. But either way, it should still be listed. It should still be publicly listed, right? It should still be easily should be easy for us to find. You type in group home, Mesa Drive, and McKellips. Nothing. You know, you can't protect public information in the United States of America. Miranda says, "My kid is struggling. There's no way I'm letting my kid go to a group home." Absolutely. And I don't know the circumstances. I'm not here to victimize or family bash or anything like that. Even though it may play into what happened to her. Miranda says the body parts were in plastic bags except for her hands and arms. No, they haven't found her hands and arms. They don't know what's going on with the hands and arms. They haven't been located. Jay Riss says sometimes it's court ordered though. I did reach out to her mother because I saw that she was speaking to some media outlets, so I did my best to reach out to her. I did not get a response. This was posted, I believe, on think by the Arizona Republic this morning. Viewer discretion is advised. So she was dumped like trash somewhere in this area here. Now, this is a main highway here, Highway 60. Doesn't say no trespassing, just says please close the gate. And apparently somebody, a couple was walking back here and they located the bags. It was probably already had that decomp smell. So they knew exactly right away that something was horrible was going on. But I have a feeling that they parked here and just walked kind of back here on these trails. Right here, you see these trails? So if I had to guess, the killer pulled in through here, maybe backed in somewhere over here, or just walked to the bags over here and threw them, tossed them. But I could be wrong. Could be anywhere, even like up in here. Maybe even like over here in this area. Yep. And what do you think? What could that possibly mean? Are they possibly still out here somewhere? Did they keep the hands? Like, what does it all mean? This is some drone footage of Peridot, Arizona. And then I also have a little bit of San Carlos. So it's just a small little town. Hands would mean don't touch or vice versa. Hands off. Yeah, that's what somebody had mentioned earlier, that maybe there was a struggle and for whatever reason, maybe there was DNA suspected of being on the hands. But I don't know. I think it's something different than that. Let's take a look at San Carlos. A little bit bigger, but I mean, these are just small towns, reservation towns. I just grabbed these random videos on YouTube. I don't plan on showing much of them. Well, think about it. Why does a killer dismember a body? What are the reasons to do that? And you're not going to do that in your car. So if she's picked up by some random person, he had to have had a hotel room, right? In my opinion, the reason to dismember a body would be so that you can move it much easier or hide it. So that means that they went somewhere, to a hotel, to a home. She was taken to somewhere private first. So that means there's a lot of evidence somewhere. There's going to be a brutal scene. Now, whether that's in San Carlos or Peridot, I couldn't tell you, but I think it's definitely somewhere over there. North would be kind of where I was. So I was in Sholo recently. You guys, I know it went live. But we don't take the 60 up there. But you could. Like my dad and my aunt, they went up this route. But I've definitely traveled the 60 all the way through here plenty of times. So usually we go this way down the 260 into Payson, which is it's more of a scenic route. That's why we go that way. So it could be the killer was staying in Globe. I just don't know the exact time that she went missing. I think it's still closed, Hiawatha. I'm pretty sure I saw it on Google that it was closed. I'm sure you can look it up real quick. Hey, Sensei. So hopefully they're establishing a timeline for this. And the FBI is trying to track down everything that was going on with her social media. And just like any case, there's a lot of nonsense being spread online. I don't know why people do that. I think it has to do with mental health and a lot of maybe some drug use. Well, let's go through some of this information here. It's by azcentral.com. They do great reporting. It's from the Arizona Republic. It's by Lauren D. Young. Thank you, Miranda. That was my initial thought, she warrior. But I mean, if you're going to hide the identity, why don't you just hide the body completely? There's no reason to put it in a bag and just throw it somewhere, right? You think somebody would have taken, if they're trying to hide the body, there's more ways than doing it in the middle of nowhere. And usually, first time killers will resort to dismembering as well. It's one thing I'm noticing. It's really the only way for you to hide a body. So, who are you hiding it from? Why are you trying to hide a body? So, is it possible that this might be a young person or a young adult who maybe still lives with their parents or has roommates, or why are they hiding it? What are they hiding it from? Usually peering eyes, somebody that might see them carrying a body or something wrapped up in the size of a body. The only reason I could think of to dismember somebody would be to move it easily and hide the fact that you're moving a body. So if you're hiding the body, to me that tells me that there's somebody there that could see you, that could expose you and what you've done. That could be a hotel. I mean, that could be a good place to start, right, for investigators. But I just don't see Emily getting in a vehicle with somebody that she doesn't know. So I feel like whoever did this is somebody that travels between the valley, which is the Phoenix Metropolitan Valley, and the reservation area. So whoever did this said, I'll pick you up. It's probably somebody that she was in contact with, knows her family, possibly may even be a relative, a friend of a friend. If you need any help ever, give me a call. So whoever killed Emily, I believe was traveling from Phoenix to the reservation on that date, on that night. They knew that nobody was aware that she had run away, or her family wasn't aware that she was missing. And the group home didn't contact her family immediately, which is very strange. You think if she ran away, the group home would contact the family or local law enforcement and tell them, hey, you might want to contact the family, because if she shows up there, then you guys can go find her and return her home. What's going on, Glam Van? Maybe they scattered body parts in different police jurisdictions. Well, they found two bags together. That's kind of what my first theory was, that they were just kind of scattering it and they planned to get the hell out of there. But two bags were found in one area. So I think it was a torso and legs and a head or something like that. So I don't understand why they would leave all of that in one location consolidated and not the arms. Why leave two bags in one area and then another bag somewhere completely different? There's just something telling me that this person still has the hands. And if law enforcement just could act fast and find out who this is, they might be able to find that information. Might even be able to catch him. Hunting? Yep, absolutely. There's a lot of hunting through there. Arizona is a big hunting state. Absolutely. J Ray, that's a messed up idea of what help is. Yeah, we live with sick people, and these sick people have learned to hide in plain sight. Nobody knows, may not suspect this person. But I'm telling you right now, if you're a family member of Emily and you know anybody that was traveling from the valley to San Carlos or out to that reservation, and in your mind, you're thinking, well, it's impossible for that person to be involved. It's going to be hard for you to wrap your mind around it. But tip that individual in. Do not hesitate. Let law enforcement look into it, let them follow it down, and that's it. If they weren't involved, it's an anonymous tip. Nobody knows. Will ever know that you called law enforcement. But right now, that's who I'm looking for. Okay. Let me read this article. I might read a couple articles and play a couple news reports for you here locally. Was written in plastic cups at the intersection of Mesa Drive and McKellips Road in Mesa, the last place 14-year-old Emily Pike was seen alive. Forever 14 was painted on a rock laid beneath bouquets of flower, rain smudged notes covered by dusty ground. Purple and yellow ribbons were tied along the fence. Since March 2nd, people have left stuffed animals, balloons, posters, and candles at the intersection, memorializing Pike, who was found dead on Valentine's Day after being reported missing in late January. Pike's remains were found almost 3 weeks after she was reported missing from Mesa, according to police. They were found in a woody area off of US 60 northeast of Globe, about 100 miles away from where she was last seen, the Gila County Sheriff's Office said in a news release. What happened between her disappearance and when she was found is part of a homicide investigation. According to Mesa Police, Pike was last seen around 7:45 p.m. Okay. So this is later in the day. Now, this is a fact that I was looking for right here. And if it's already late, it's going to take about an hour to get to Globe. It's about an hour drive to Globe. So by then it's already 9 o'clock. You know, this person might be tired. Convincing the young girl, let's get a hotel. You know, I'll drop you off in the morning. I've been driving. You know, I really need to get some sleep. So I think it is possible that she was murdered and dismembered in a hotel room. Wherever it was definitely somewhere private on the inside, meaning not a whole lot of people, but on the outside, people could see what this individual or people were doing. Why else would you dismember a body? For one, you can't carry it by yourself. Two, it would look suspicious for you carrying something that looked like a body out of a hotel room or out of your home. Okay, so she was last seen about 7:45 p.m. near Mesa Drive and McKellips. Those are the crossroads that I kind of pinpointed for you guys and zoomed in on the map. She left on foot from her group home where she was living. The flyer from the police department read. On February 14th, Pike's remains were found off US 60 North, milepost 277 on Forest Service Road number 355. And that's the road I was showing you guys kind of heading up the mountain. The Gila County Sheriff's Office said in a Facebook post. The Gila County Sheriff's Office has not returned request for comment about how Pike's body was found. However, information about the case was found circulating on social media. Unfortunately, the information on Facebook was intended only for law enforcement agencies and was leaked according to a statement from the Gila County Sheriff's Office. So they never intended to tell the public what happened to this poor girl. How often is that happening? How many cases just like Emily's are going unnoticed? That doesn't make any sense to me. The cause and manner of death have not been released according to the Pinal County Medical Examiner's Office, which investigates deaths in Gila County. Remember, 4 to 6 weeks, right, to get the autopsy and toxicology and cause of death, cause and manner of death. I mean, we know this was murder. Pike was described as a sweet girl by multiple people who left messages at the memorial. She was a member of the San Carlos Apache tribe. Our tribe is mourning the tragic death of one of our young members. Read a statement from San Carlos Apache tribe chairman Terry Rambler. This is a terrible loss for the teenager's family and our tribe. Pike's death sparked a large response on social media, with many putting focus on the crisis of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. Pike's family could not be reached for comment. Pike left behind her grandmother and 3 siblings, according to a GoFundMe. Pike was living at a Mesa group home. It was unknown how long she had been living in the group home and whether this was her first time in a group home. Arizona Department of Child Safety said that Pike was not in its care. Mesa police had responded 5 times to Pike running away. See, so this is a repeat. She was a repeat offender when it comes to running away. So we'll reach out to Sabrina tomorrow morning. Looks like this is their spokesperson. So I'll ask, see if she has any updates or any new information. Right here it says the spokesperson for the FBI said the Bureau will not join the investigation. As of this article is about 2 days old. As of this morning, they are involved 100%. Hey, Sparky, thank you so much. Truck driver. I mean, I think it could be possible that she was hitchhiking. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I feel like there's some kind of a connection. The fact that her body was dumped so close. Like she was literally taken directly to her home. It's almost as if she was murdered here in this area and then dumped over here. You know, that's why I have the theory that I have now. What's going on, Glam Van? Thank you, Sparky. Yep. Remember, guys, we're 100% crowdfunded. We need your support to continue doing what we do. So all of you who continue your support for the Sleuth Intuition channel, I thank you. J Ray says, well, yeah, most likely to be able to move her body without suspicion. Absolutely. Absolutely. But why? What does that tell us about the killer? I mean, are we getting unorganized vibes? Are we getting organized vibes? Are we feeling like she was lured? Are you guys coming up with the same conclusion that I have as far as her body being found so close to where she was most likely trying to get to? which is this area here, either San Carlos or Peridot. This is where her mother was living, in the small town here. And it pretty much connects with San Carlos. I mean, I feel like they're the same place almost. Misunderstood says unorganized. Me too. Absolutely. Panic, right? Now what? Now what do I do? Well, I can't, and then the brain starts clicking. Well, I can't just carry her out. I can't just leave her here. Now, I was wondering if this was duct tape or something, some kind of tape. I'm hoping there was tape on these bags. That way they might get some type of DNA, maybe some hair, some fibers, maybe. And it looks a little muddy back here, like maybe it's part of a wash. This whole area is kind of washed out. I don't know. I'm thinking it might be somewhere back here. Somewhere in this area here. Thank you, Sparky. Yep. If you guys want to help out, you can send donations to my Cash App, Venmo, Zelle. You guys can go to sleuthintuition.com and purchase some gear. Free shipping. Here's the media release. So I got my hands on this yesterday. Let's take a look at that. It's not much here. Sheriff J. Adam Shepard would like to release the following information regarding the Facebook post that has been in circulation about the remains located off of Highway 60 North. On February 14th, 2025, the remains of an unidentified female were found. The Gila County Sheriff's Office, in conjunction with the San Carlos Apache Tribal Police, began an investigation. On February 27th, 2025, the unidentified female has been identified as a juvenile from the San Carlos Apache tribe who was reported as a missing runaway juvenile out of the Mesa Police Department. Next of kin has been notified. So they were never even planning on telling the world what happened to this young lady. It's like we would have never even known. No, she didn't run away from the res. She ran away from the group home that she was at. And another strange fact is that she went to school way over here. She went to a charter school, apparently. somewhere out in this area. Nowhere near the group home. So I don't know what that's all about. I don't know if she got bussed over there or what. Hey, what's up, this account? We're kind of just it's kind of repetitive. We're just regurgitating the information and trying to make sense of it all. This says this was from people. Looks like they spoke to her mother. I think her name is Stephanie. DeSola, I believe is her name. Mother remembers teenage daughter after her remains are found in Arizona. She was just a baby. A mother is remembering her late teenage daughter as very happy and kind. Days after authorities discovered and identified her remains in Arizona. On Thursday, February 27th, the Gila County Sheriff's Office shared a news release on Facebook announcing that the remains of an unidentified female were discovered on February 14th off of Highway 60. Within days, an investigation between GCSO, Gila County Sheriff's Office, and San Carlos Apache Tribe identified that the remains belonged to a child previously reported missing by the Mesa Police Department, MPD, per news releases. So, what is another definition of a 14-year-old runaway? So, it's basically a 14-year-old person who is all alone. Now, people go to jail for that. If you were to just leave your 14-year-old child at home alone for weeks on end, you would go to jail. So there needs to be a different kind of classification for runaways, especially at that age. You know, something's causing them to want to run away. There needs to be an investigation. You know, what's troubling this child? Are they being abused? Is somebody luring them online? I think that there should be a mandatory, some kind of an investigation. None of this, oh, well, they're just a runaway. They'll turn up. No, because when you're a runaway, what's the first thing you look for? You look for shelter, right? Who's going to provide you shelter? Some random person out on the street. And who's going to provide a 14-year-old shelter and not call the police? Right? Not a normal person. Any normal person would just say, hey, I have a 14-year-old runaway. You guys need to come get her. Need to check her out. Something's wrong. You guys need to do an investigation. They're not going to keep her hidden. This account, no, we're going to do that in about an hour. And I might reschedule it for 7 my time. Per the police department, Pike was wearing a pink and gray shirt when she was last seen on January 27th at 7:45 p.m. local time. Having left her residence on foot near Mesa Drive and McKellips Road, speaking with local CBS affiliate KPHO, her mom, Steph DeSella, called Emily a very happy and kind person who loved painting, art, and drawing and was hoping to pursue the arts in college. Her family lives on the San Carlos Apache Indian Reservation, but at the time she went missing, Emily was staying at a group home in Mesa. Her case manager finally came a week later to tell me she was missing. So, 1 week later. So, who is the case manager? I think it's important. Hopefully, law enforcement is following up with that. Let's just put it that way. You hear that, law enforcement? You need to be following up on that case manager. That whole group home. In the news release posted on Facebook, GCSO said that it was working with several law enforcement agencies to investigate all information and evidence. Those with information pertaining to the investigation are encouraged to contact Gila County Sheriff's Office, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, or San Carlos Apache Tribal Police. According to a previous post from the GCSO uploaded to Facebook on February 26, information that was only intended for law enforcement was leaked to the platform, despite authorities deciding that further information needed to be investigated before making a public statement. That's extremely upsetting. The victim's remains were discovered in large contractor trash bags. Detectives were unable to find her legs and hands, while a preliminary autopsy found visible face and head trauma. Okay, so according to this, they didn't find her legs or hands. So I'm getting mixed reports here, but I think it's safe to say that they didn't find her legs or hands. So that means that, yeah, there may have been 4 bags total: torso, head, and then 2 other bags, legs and arms. So yeah, there could be a separate dump site. So it's probably maybe even halfway, someplace like this. And there's these little turnoffs all throughout these highways. But I mean, these are the areas that they need to be searching. These little turnoffs. If I had to guess, they're going to find the other bags somewhere here, in an area very similar to that. See, here's another one. So you can kind of pull off here and then take these little roads back here. People do hunting, camping, just off-roading for the day. So yeah, if I had to guess, that's probably what happened. There's 2 dump sites. 4 bags total, 2 in one site and 2 in another. Thinking, hey, if I keep them separated, they'll have a harder time identifying who she is. I'm thinking somebody that doesn't want to get caught, this account, right? Kind of like a Richard Allen. Somebody who can't control themselves. Did something horrible, but can't let anybody find out about it because they'll probably kill them, call the police on them, beat the shit out of them, ridicule them, mark them for the rest of their lives as a pedophile. So somebody that I believe it's somebody that she knows. Somebody traveling from the valley to San Carlos or to the reservation took advantage of her, knowing that she's in trouble, knowing that nobody knows where she is. She's in the care of a predator. That predator took advantage of that. Okay, now that he's gone through with his impulse, made his impulsive decision, couldn't control himself, commits sexual assault upon a 14-year-old girl. Now what? He did what most psychos do. He killed this person and didn't even look at him as an individual. He didn't see Emily as a human being, just somebody that could get him in trouble. Because if she was a human being, They would never do what they did to begin with. They most likely assaulted her. I believe most of these killings happened just to cover up, the dismemberment, the murder, to cover up who they really are, the monster that they hide inside constantly. If somebody found out what this killer did to Emily, everybody would know. Did they do this before? I don't know. But I hope that they're searching these other areas here. I mean, there can only be a few dozen, right? See, here's another good place to start right here. And if I had to guess, they're going to find the other bags or body parts halfway between the reservation and where they found those body parts. Or maybe even further. For all we know, that's the first dump site. So dump here. Travel a little further. See these little service roads back here? So they need to go search all of this before the killer does. And a lot of times the killer's going to dump these body parts in a place that they're familiar with, a place that they can maybe revisit in the future to be close to their victim. What's up, Mother of Dragons? I mean, it could be the first time. I mean, I think it's possible this is the first time for this person or these people. Good to see you. None of your business. Welcome in. So this is a case that we're going to continue to cover, guys. There's not a whole lot to provide as far as information. I can play you a bunch of local media videos that were put out, but it's all the same information that we're having right now. I'm going to continue to dig. If you guys were looking for any updates on Shaylee's case, there's no updates. Remember, we're waiting. It's 4 to 6 weeks before we get the autopsy information. So we'll keep you updated on a lot of these newer cases that have been circulating the news, and I'll do my best to keep you guys updated. We will most likely go live in about an hour and a half on Casey Anthony. I'll see what's going on. Make sure things aren't too hectic. But I do want to thank you guys for joining me today. And if you could please go share this. It sounds like they were just going to sweep this under the rug. Another indigenous missing child, murdered, dismembered, thrown away like trash. Right? Nobody cares. So let's put some pressure not only on law enforcement, but on the son of a bitch who did this. And you guys do what you do best. Start digging. And I'll see you guys again hopefully a little bit later tonight. Take care of yourselves.